Excuse me. Create match. Billion things. Nobody can guess that. But yeah, before we get started, Aaron, appreciate the 420, dude. Glad you're learning a lot.
Johnny Boy is back.
Johnny Boy's back. Yeah, thanks for that. Lackme, Junket, Mord Christ. Thanks for the subs, guys. I really appreciate that. Let's get this one started, though. Garrett against Jacob. NRG Jacob and Garrett, who's now looking for a team. He did play in the RLCS LAN with Orbit, so he's now looking for a team. And I'll be very interested to see where Garrett ends up because, in my opinion, best player in North America is Garrett. Oh, that's a pretty sick dribble by Jacob, though. Garrett missed his timing on the challenge. A bit late on the arrival. Should be tackling right as it bounces. But that's a really nice catch, though, by Jacob. He moved it to the side as well as up in the air, or else it probably wouldn't have gone past Garrett. So really nicely done by him. But Jacob actually had a great LAN performance as well. I was very impressed with both of these guys. Garrett, oh my goodness. Decent dunkage. But yeah, Garrett did get round one. They nearly took out the eventual tournament finalist Market Aces in the actual round one. They were 2-0 up in a best of 5. There's that wave dash kickoff from Jacob again, but he's going to get faked out. Garrett grabbing the boost. Like I was saying, Garrett and his team, Turtle and Moses, that was Orbit. They did nearly take down Market Aces. Oh, that should be a goal. Jacob actually just lets Garrett have a free rebound, but Garrett misses it. Jacob will miss the counterattack as well. Not the greatest play, but it looks like Jacob taking a big gamble. Did not think Garrett was going to go for that ball off the wall, I guess, or else there was no reason to go for that. Oh, and the nice lift. Oh, no, he missed it. That was so well done by Garrett, but he's missed the open net. A bit of rust coming in for these guys. They don't focus on 1v1 because, of course, Rocket League right now is mainly 3v3. Jacob decides to half flip out of the challenge, but it's not going to be enough. Garrett just too quick up in the air. I do like that Jacob half flipped out of this challenge, though. He realized that he was losing the race to the ball, and then he decides to try to go back to the decides to try and go back to the goal as quickly as possible. But yeah, I'm definitely looking out for Garrett. I think he's got a great future ahead of him in competitive 3v3, and Jacob, probably the most creative player in North America, I would say, in 3v3. Right now, he's getting pressured right into his own half. This is not easy for him. Doesn't get a clean landing on the crossbar. Tries to get a clean landing on the post instead. And despite the fact that he got one, he did go up for a save, which was actually hitting the crossbar. That's a big misplay. Let's see if Jacob can turn this one around. So far, it's been all Garrett. This just a pure read by Jacob in that situation. He couldn't see Garrett, but he had a good read of where Garrett's positioning was. And Garrett with a quick recovery has another shot on net, but he's slow to convert that into a chance. He's going to get the boost steal, though. Jacob under a lot of pressure. Going for the classic Dominic's flick right at the ceiling. Did save up enough boost, but he was trying to beat Garrett to that ball. Did not expect Garrett to back off. Now Garrett high up on the wall. This should be an easy possession retention for him, but he didn't. He didn't grab that corner boost. Jacob had it available for him. Still though, Garrett pressuring a man who just got home from the White House an hour ago, which is probably a story that you guys are not aware of. They didn't really advertise this event very well, but apparently Jacob and his teammates Fireburner and Sad Jr. and also Moses, who used to be on Garrett's team, were just at the White House to play some Rocket League with Shaquille O'Neal and probably some other famous people. I don't know. But I'm very curious to see that event. I've not seen it yet. Very, very curious to see what it looked like. Oh my goodness, what a flick by Jacob. Garrett late on the challenge again, though. This is the second time he's conceded this game because he doesn't hit Jacob on the bounce. Right there, the moment where the ball bounces is the second that Garrett can challenge, where Jacob can't redirect the ball any other direction. So now, he's either going to try and step up his positioning a little bit further up the field, or just not lunge late at the ball. These guys, of course, were just singing chat. They're not sure why they joined ones. What a shot by Jacob. Garrett not able to get this one into his own crossbar. Tried to pinch it with the crossbar on the way in. Looks like Garrett's gone for the second of the two options I gave for him. Just not lunging at all at the ball this time, but he couldn't get the save. He would have probably had to pre-jump that one. Jacob did a phenomenal job. Actually throwing a backflip into his pop, which does actually preserve his positioning a little bit better than if he front flips into the ball. Missing on the power shot though this time is Jacob. Trying the exit bump, but he gets bumped instead. That's probably one of the most infuriating things in Rocket League. Just going for the exit bump, and then you get bumped. Looks like we're all tied up though. You guys are enjoying LFT and Garrett. Of course, he's gonna have no problem finding a team, I'm sure. Like I said before, for me right now, the best 3v3 player in North America. And despite some heavy touches and slow recoveries at certain moments in this game, he has not been completely out of place. Neither of these guys completely out of place in 1v1 environment. I'm sure that they're both formerly top 100 players if they aren't currently top 100 players. Oh, here's Garrett. He's maybe going to go for the backboard shot here. Doesn't get the height on it that he would have wanted. Reason to go for the backboard in that situation is to threaten the rebound. And these guys are so good hitting that follow-up rebound from their own backboard pass. I would definitely expect to see them try to do that backboard pass to themselves. This should be an easy lead for Garrett, and it is. Opting for the simple bounce shot. Just Garrett showing us right there the importance of getting the ball past your opponent rather than trying to shoot it straight at their net from different positions. He just gets it past Jacob. That's all he cares about in that situation. Just get the ball past Jacob. Doesn't matter what on earth is that. I'm not sure if Garrett jumped off the wall there and immediately landed on the ceiling or something. Oh, Jacob was thinking about just following that one down to the ground, but he did go for a last second lift on the ball. Did not get it over Garrett though. Garrett actually came off the wall to do that. That was some very nice defending. Don't worry, if I'll read donations and stuff between games. Don't worry, I won't miss it. I've got my Streamlabs open on the other monitor. I'll check it out between games. I don't think I muted it entirely. I lowered the volume on the alerts. I don't think I muted them. I'll have to check that again. This should lead to a goal in all seriousness from Jacob. Oh, the spawn though from Garrett. Jacob was going for the risky play, 50-50 pretty much. If Garrett spawned right in that side, then Jacob knew he was hitting the ball straight towards him. That play really should have led to a goal though for Jacob. Getting a demo in that position and then collecting the boost is such an advantageous spot. Garrett is instead going to come out on top. He was already winning by 2 with 10 seconds to go. You can understand Jacob's over aggression at the end there, but 3 goals to difference. Garrett doubling the lead. Interesting to see Garrett now playing the Dominus, so he's going to get another one if he can keep this up in the air. Doesn't manage it. 6-3, still pretty comfortable stuff for Garrett towards the end. Let me just check my Streamlabs. Oh, Zaps, I appreciate that, dude. Saying keep it up. I will do my best, my man. I will definitely try to keep up the content creation.
I have to play at the lowest graphics settings and 45 FPS. I'm an all-star in 1S and 2S. Do you think my rank would be significantly higher if I got a better computer?
Yeah, you could definitely make an argument for that. You could definitely make an argument for getting a better rank from 45 FPS going up to like 60 or even at 120, 144. Oh, not sure what that was. Garrett changing team at the last second, but he does get back in time to do the face-off. Very curious to know why that happened. It must have been a misclick. But yeah, I always feel like if you're going from 60 hertz, talking about monitors, if you're going from 60 hertz to 144, then you're probably not going to notice too much difference initially. But when you will notice the difference is when you go back to 60 from 144. So if you're going to get a 144 hertz monitor, make sure that you want to make that switch permanently. It's not just like a setup that you're only going to use sometimes, because it will frustrate you, I feel, if you have to bounce between a 60 and a 144 all the time. That's what I've had to do recently, is I just got a 144 hertz monitor for the first time just about a month ago, and it's very difficult to play on 60 hertz now. Very difficult to adjust. It takes a while for your eyes to get used to it. Mobile 1 high performance overlay, maybe after this game. Oh, Garrett got tripped there, but managed to recover. Dominus OP, but luckily we have 2 Dominus, so we're not going to have any complaints in that regard. Garrett trying to get behind the ball here, just making his car as big as possible. Making sure Jacob doesn't have an easy block. Jacob go for the rebound. Oh, nice try. I do like that idea by Jacob. Execution wasn't perfect. These guys are very much focused on the walls right now in terms of the route to goal. no fear jumping off walls. As long as you can recover well, then there is not as much danger in jumping off a wall. But hits like that don't really accomplish anything in a 1v1 because Garrett will have the possession immediately after, and it turns into a goal. If you're going to go for wall shots like Jacob just did, he will want to get it over Garrett's head, if nothing else, because then Garrett won't be able to just immediately take one touch, shoot, and potentially even score a goal, if not just threaten a goal. But let's see if Garrett can just hold on to this lead like in game 1. A lot of fake. Oh, Jacob missing the ball. That's not what he meant to do, of course. It was not a mind game. He just whiffed it. There's a lot of fake air dribbles going on between these guys. Jacob's had about 2 or 3. Now Garrett's showing us one. Finds the bottom left corner, and Jacob, no, not able to get a touch on this one. This looked pretty funny. Both of these guys are skipping it, but I'm not going to skip this. This was a cracking save attempt. The double jump not taking Jacob the direction that he expected, actually pulling him away from the ball. 3-0 for Garrett, who does not rate himself in 1v1s at all, but actually when I've seen Garrett play ones, I've been quite impressed by how solid he is for such little game time in this mode. Jacob, I can imagine, will just get so bored playing ones that he just wants to do some well shots and some aerials, and he'll get punished more often than not. There we go, a nice counterattack by Jacob though. Despite Garrett's reasonably fast recovery, he did manage to get the ball into the net. That's a really good shot by Garrett. It's going to push Jacob up into the air, and now he can just collect Jacob's boost, or just score if, if Jacob's going to flop. I'm not sure what's going on here. Jacob putting down the controller right here. The pre-jump by Jacob. Showing us... showing us exactly why you don't pre-jump in a 1v1. Unless you absolutely have to. That was a huge gamble by Jacob, and it did not pay off. Oh, there we go, a pre-jump by Garrett. He may have had to do that this time, but Jacob punishing him for a slight misposition. Garrett getting too far underneath the ball there, so he could not actually contest it. Expected Jacob to back off. Excuse me, my voice is still recovering from the weekend of casting that I just had. Well, casting and shouting at people, obviously. I do need to get Jacob in for some more ones. Oh, he's so greedy. Even pointing his car at that boost was so greedy. Can't believe Jacob even tried that. Garrett with a quick look behind him. Still opting to go for the boost, even though he knew that Jacob would beat him for the ball. And Jacob's trying to get Garrett to back down here, but he's not able to do so. This is not a good position for Jacob to be in. No boost and no ball control. He's just gone for a bump, actually. Not a terrible idea. Oh, now he has boost. He might be able to recover it in time. Well played by Jacob to get that save. Garrett did get the off and on into the net. Now both players finally reset, full boost. People asking for overlay. Garrett won the first game. That's all we really have to remember. I'll get an overlay, a proper one, pretty soon. I'll have a bit more time through the new year to actually look into getting good graphics. What a 50-50 by Garrett. Look at his car just go glued to the ball right there. Oh, and he gets the demo as he takes the ball over the top of Jacob. This 50-50 was really solid though. Just forcing the ball through. And then Jacob tries against all hope to get in front of the ball. Garrett cuts it behind him. Gets the demo as well. The reason why people are side flipping into kickoffs, or at least one of the reasons why people are side flipping kickoffs, is because your car doesn't get so much forward momentum and take you past the ball. Should it stay in the middle, your car just kind of stops all momentum in the forward direction and hangs about in the midfield. Garrett showing us some very solid games right here, despite Jacob admitting himself that he is not the most reliable 1v1 player. I think we'd all agree that Garrett has been very threatening on the ball here. Very quick recovery, and we just see Jacob flying off the screen again. He's trying desperately to get something working here. Pops it towards Garrett net. Garrett knows it's not in. Garrett just staying relevant. He could have gone for his own corner boost there, but he preferred the ball pressure instead. And he's just sidewinding now. Playing keep away. Should do a Garrett versus Kronovi. Well, I don't know if Kronovi's on. I would love to see Garrett versus Kronovi. What a shot by Garrett. It's so quick on the recovery. And yeah, Garrett is not a terrible ones player. He calls himself a terrible ones player, but that is absolutely not true. Look at the fast recovery and immediately shooting that ball into the bottom left corner. Clinical stuff from the 15-year-old, I believe he is still 15, is Garrett. Showing lots of maturity for his age is this young man. Jacob, on the other hand. You have Garrett showing lots of maturity for his age, and then you have Jacob, who just front flipped by accident. Don't worry guys, I love Jacob, he's a nice guy. Great guy to hang out with. He was going for the fast aerial there to challenge Garrett, but he accidentally front flips under the ball. Yeah, Jacob is definitely the most renounced 1v1 player. I would agree. There we go, that's not no accidental front flip this time. Garrett not giving Jacob the respect that he deserved. Power shot with the Dominus, always going to be pretty dangerous from the midfield. Would agree that Jacob has the biggest chin. I think that's just a fact at this point. He's like he's the Crimson Chin right now. Garrett again having to make a quick turn to his net. Jacob threatening the ball over his head. Look at these delayed or early dodges, I should say, not a delayed dodge. It's the other one, the early dodge by Garrett, trying to get the connection on the ball with the back end of his Dominus as it comes over the top. But that's going to be 2-0 for Garrett. He's making this look pretty easy at the moment. Here, I'll throw up a series score. You know what I should really do is make 2 separate overlays for this. One with the score in it and one with the names in it, because that way you would that way I would have the scores properly lined up. I did this once and I was like, I should do this again. Then I forgot every time since then. Don't worry, all the subs I'll check. I'll give you guys a shout out between games, like I've been saying. I'm gonna keep reminding people that, because it is a new thing that I'm doing just for these streams where, you know, I'm just come back from a long break. Don't want to be losing my train of thought completely by just going off in sub shout out tangents. I was trying to come up with a phrase to describe what that would be. Jacob actually got the boost at the midfield there. Oh, nice flick, the backflip coming in handy again. And look at Jacob's positioning after this backflip. He's not even all in for this move, because he gets in front of the ball and then he backflips. Very, very clever. Taking the ball away from the goalkeeper, and even if the goalkeeper does save it, he is ready to continue attacking. Hey, what up, Flarky? How you doing, man? Awesome to finally meet you in RLCS. Oh, what an own goal by Jacob! Beautifully done. He was trying desperately to try and flip and put this into his own corner. He just pokes it into his own net. Missed the timing on that one. Did Jacob? Fresh out the White House. I think it was Shaquille who taught on that move. The Shaq. He said, I'm not just good at free throws. Check out this move. Bam! Own goal. There we go. Jacob equalizing.
Nice meeting you at Landboy.
Nice meeting you at Landboy as well, dude. I'll give you a shout out after between games. A couple of kickoffs here or quite a lot of kickoffs are being used by Jacob to practice his wave dashing, which is very interesting. The wave dash kickoff, I'm not sure if there are any advantages to it at all, apart from the fact that it might mind game your opponent a little bit, because they might see you doing a weird jump and change their strategy halfway. Jacob trying the move that Scrub equalized on Devo in the best 1v1 of all time. The 9-0. Oh, what a miss by Garrett! He's actually missed the open net. This is a disaster. And now he's completely tilted off the face of the earth. He just flipped away from the ball. If I were Jacob, I would stop this ball on the goal line, because there's almost no way Garrett's moving in that situation. So Jacob, slight misplay. As soon as you see Garrett do this, I would get in front of the ball, stop it, because Garrett probably just going to sit in the corner in shame, and you can just tick the clock down. But Jacob does score it. I was about to give who is it? I was about to give Jacob some credit as well for trying to emulate Scrub Killer's, you know, fake high go low that he used to equalize Devo on for the 9-all, the best 1v1 of all time. What a bump by Jacob. He managed to get underneath Garrett there. Takes the ball to the side to collect boost on the way. Another position where the Octane is at a slight advantage, I find, is in the walls and on the wall in these positions, because the fact that the Octane is a taller car means that you don't need to jump off the wall in order to just clip the ball over the other player's net in certain situations. Jacob running away from the garrettG tickly bum time. Does escape. I love the placement of that shot. Garrett with a tough save. But what a recovery by Garrett, landing on the crossbar somehow. I do love the placement on that shot by Jacob though. He should have moved around to that side to meet it on the left hand side. These guys both showing some nice defense right here. And Jacob, I do love this setup again. He's making some great strides. Look at that, threatening the bounce dribble. Garrett has to back off because he's afraid Jacob might cut it one shot earlier. Like that bounce here, he could have shot it on that one. He actually waits one more for Garrett to move into the net, then puts it behind him. Really, that's some nice attacking by Jacob. First the long shot to the near post, and now the bounce dribble, putting the ball behind Garrett both times. Not falling for Garrett's sort of mind games on the goalie line, where he's saying, "Hey, look at this huge gap in front of me. Shoot the ball there. I swear I won't make it in time." And Jacob just says, "No, thank you, my friend. I'm going to put the ball right behind you. I know that that's far more awkward to deal with." And I would put my money on Jacob scoring this. He is very solid at rebounds. He gets the bounce over the crossbar. Does bump Garrett to eternity and back. Somehow Garrett recovering pretty quickly on the wall. Jacob definitely elevating his game though right now to another level. We did not see anything like this from him in the first two games. And look at that, so comfortable from the wall is Jacob. That was beautiful. Garrett just got so done. Ladies and gentlemen, take a look at this catch. Jacob immediately recorrecting his flight path as he comes off the wall. Perfectly kills the bounce, takes it underneath the incoming challenge of garrettG. Belly flops it on the way in. That's what I like to see. Beautifully done by Jacob right there. 5-2 as well. He's actually got a solid lead at the moment. And Garrett, the manner in which he's been losing these goals is probably going to make it difficult for him to come back mentally. Jacob again just firing the ball at the near post. This time Garrett is well aware that the ball is not actually anywhere near on target. Good challenge though by Jacob. Immediately as soon as Garrett tries to start this ball bouncing, Jacob is there. Slams it over the top of him. No, I didn't already talk about F3 Market. I'll do that after this series a little bit. Fear not, I will do that after this series. And I'll catch up to the subs and all that as well. Of course, we're going to have to give Jacob a chance to bring this series back though, because he is suddenly turning this around, looking very threatening in attack. He's taking the ball past Garrett so many times this game. And he's actually forced an own goal situation. garrettG forced to set up Jacob right here. That's some really smart play by Jacob, just running the ball straight into Garrett and then getting ready for the rebound. Garrett did try to go up and rebound it himself, take it wide of the net, but there's no such thing. That was really nice by Jacob though, leaving Garrett with no option but to set the ball up off his own backboard. Now it's just pure knowledge of that situation by Jacob. He didn't even have a visual on Garrett, but he just knew where Garrett was going to be. These catches by Jacob coming off the aerial into the ground play, always good to see. Player, he's got very fluid air rolls, does Jacob, and except that one. He just heard that and made me look bad. What a pass! Garrett again setting up Jacob for the pass. Of course, this is not the best game for Garrett, but the first two he did show off some really good possession retention, just keeping the ball away from Jacob. That's a stat that I would love to see implemented into Rocket League somehow. Well, there's actually two stats above others that I would love to see. One of them is boost, amount, or boosts accumulated by players and teams, and the other one is possession retention. So let's say that you're in a 1v1. This would be Garrett's possession because he just touched it, and it's still his possession until Jacob touches the ball. There, this is all Garrett's possession. Now we're Jacob's possession. Now we're back to Garrett. You feel me? I would love to see the percentage ball control at the end of the game. That would be really, really interesting. Not just for individual teams, but also all individual players, also for teams. It'd be very interesting to see that stat alongside boost control. I think it would be those two, especially in 3v3, I believe, would correlate very well to which team is actually performing better. Their name is F2. I think F2 would probably get 1v3'd by Kronovi. Oh, wait a minute, that already happened. No, in all seriousness, I'll definitely try to cast. What? Jacob actually just saved that shot. There he's on goal it. He's probably just so disappointed that he saved that shot that he's going to own goal it. That was a really nice pop again. Saves it, and then he just takes it over Garrett. Slams it in his own net for some bad manner. I love it. I would, but yeah, I would definitely cast some F2 games. That would be a lot of fun. I think I've got an idea. What do you guys think of this one? F2 against Jazer and MK. What about that one? I think that would be a pretty cool one. F2 against Jazer and MK. That would be, yeah, that would be. I would cast the poo out of that game. Garrett's gonna BRB. Jacob is actually taking this back by 1, so it's 2-1 now. Shall I try and organize that one, guys? Would you guys want to see that? I've not actually talked to any of these guys about it. You guys are the first people I've mentioned this idea to. But yeah, that would be probably the funniest game of all time. If I casted that, it would go viral in minutes. It would be sick.
Here's Johnny.
What's up? Good to see you back.
Alright,
Hope you
I'll
enjoyed
do it.
the last
Well,
2 weeks.
I'll try and do it. Obviously, I can't tell these guys what to do. They're all much more famous than me. Except for MK. Yeah, he's arguably less famous. I don't know, maybe. MK's a lovely guy, actually. I met him at the RLCS as well. He's like Jazer with glasses. It's really funny how they just look very similar, those guys. So now we got Garrett in the Octane. He's back to the serious mode. I don't really disagree with this strategy. After losing a game with one car, if you're comfortable with another car, switch to the car. You can blame all of your losses on the car. What on earth? Why did he not get bumped right there? Garrett throwing the question mark in the chat, and I kind of agree. That was a bit of an odd situation. Jacob just standing up to the demo saying, not today, buddy. You're not going to demo me this time. There are a couple of weird situations like that in Rocket League sometimes where you go for a demo on someone and then they just don't even move. Your car just loses all your momentum when you hit them. It would interest me to find out if that is actually a bug. So Garrett in a great position here. Jacob's already expended some boost just to get that clear initially. So Jacob's still boost starved. This is great position for Garrett to be in. He got the boost secure on Jacob's boost in the corner. Jacob used up all his boost. He's trying to beat Garrett to this across the field, and he does. Cool shot from Garrett, forces a clear by Jacob though. Again though, Jacob's so comfortable just flying off the wall and getting underneath the ball, catching it, kills the bounce every time. Very impressive stuff. I don't think I've ever seen anybody do that so much in a 1v1 as Jacob has in this series. Actually jumping up for a ball, which is obviously hitting the crossbar. No real reason to do that. Obviously in a 2v2 or a 3v3 you would not want to let that ball hit off your crossbar, which might be the reason why Jacob is going for that interception. You don't want to just let the ball hit your bar and then come back into the center, but he knew where Garrett was, so in a 1v1 where your opponent is very much on one side of your box and the ball is going to be rebounding to the other, you don't need to go up for that like we saw from Jacob in that situation. Talk about Jacob's White Air's performance. I actually didn't see it. I need to go watch it. Wait, what? What about Red? Somebody... Oh. Never mind. I thought I saw a comment that I had to read, but no, I'll read it later. I wonder if Jacob's going to be able to tie up the series. He looked a lot more solid in the last game. But so far this game, he's just letting Garrett have all the space that he wants, and he's opting not to shadow as well, which is quite interesting. Because if you do point your nose at the opposition when you're in goal, you will have to challenge them at some point. You can't play 100% reactively when your nose is pointing at the opponent. Jacob again trying to recover it underneath the ball and catch it, but Garrett is on the scene to prevent that from happening. That's a really creative play by Garrett, just waiting for Jacob to come off the line. Kind of one of the weaknesses of pointing your nose at the other player that's coming at you in 1v1. We did just see one of them right there, is that you do have to commit at some point, and when you do commit, you open yourself up to get outplayed. Oh, there we go. Jacob does get the equalizer. Nice pop right underneath the crossbar. He probably would have had the rebound regardless. All he was thinking about here was getting this over the top of Garrett. He knew Garrett would commit because, like I keep saying, if Garrett does turn in that position and point his big nose, his dinner's ready. What's the rules and forfeits? Jacob, I would not want to keep you from your dinner. If you have to go, if you're listening, you can go have your dinner, my friend. It's no problem at all. I've never forced anybody to stay. But if you know, if he does want to bring this series back from the 2-1 in Garrett's favor, you know, just saying. All right, he's out after this game. That's absolutely fine, Jacob. If you are listening, don't worry about it. You go get your dinner. Hope you enjoy it. He could tie up the series. Garrett did take 2 games in the Dominus Mirror before Jacob looked a lot more solid in game 3 and took his own game in the Dominus Mirror. Now we've got Dominus versus Octane Garrett, and he's going to go underneath again, but Garrett not falling for it. Staying low enough on the 50-50 to get the successful challenge. So we see right there Garrett just focusing on the ball. He doesn't really care what Jacob's doing because he knows as soon as Jacob's car is peaked and it's on the way back down, he can't give that ball any more lift, or at least not a lot. So he's just going straight for the ball. Really smart play by Garrett in that challenge. Not getting fooled like Devo did before he clutched the overtime. Spoiler alert, if you haven't already seen the greatest 1v1 of all time. Not the greatest save by Jacob right here though, Garrett. Forcing him onto the back foot with a very simple ground shot. Who are these noobs? These guys are 2 of the top players in America as far as 3v3 goes. They're not focusing on 1v1 at the moment, but I'm sure if they did, they could both become top 1v1 players as well. I've been most impressed by Garrett so far, not just because of the scoreline, but because of his consistency. Jacob has been making far more unforced errors, but the game that Jacob did win, we saw what happens when he doesn't make those unforced errors. He's actually a very threatening attacker in 1v1. And Garrett, again, actually not too happy about how that bump worked out. Jacob saying Shaq taught him that one. I'm sure he did. How to resist the fouls. So Jacob foul resistance, definitely getting better after he met Shaquille O'Neal at the White House today. Garrett way off to the side again on the face-off. He won't be happy with himself. Gives up another one. I've ruined Scrub's career. From now on, he'll be the guy who lost the greatest 1v1 of all time. I know, right? Jacob pre-jumping again. And again, I'll highlight preferring to point his car towards the attacker in the 1v1. Which is very interesting. Because most people will go into shadowing in that position. There we go. So Jacob does opt to shadow this time. Tries to pre-jump the redirect by Garrett, but Garrett just says, nah. You can't read this. Sticks it in the far corner. 5-all, 1 minute remaining. This will be the last game. Can Jacob tie up the series, or will Garrett take it 3-1? I'd put my money on Garrett. I don't know about you guys. He's just looked like the slightly more solid player for the most part of this series. But if there's anyone in the world who knows how to cause some chaos and change up a series which looks to be already under wraps, then you're looking at him. It's the Cobb. Garrett looking for the exit bump. Won't get it, and he's actually set up Jacob for a counter. This is a great position for Jacob. It's a phenomenal challenge with Garrett turning at the right point. No later, no earlier would have done right there. Oh, beans it, does Garrett, and now Jacob's got the open net. Can he roll it in? No, he can't. Garrett recovers. That should have been a lead for Jacob right there after Garrett missed the ball completely. Did mention unforced errors. And now Jacob does get the ball past Garrett again. He's got another chance. Can he get this on target? Not with the first touch, but he will with the second. He's going to take a lead. 6 seconds remaining, and he got the 6th goal. I can't believe Garrett just threw himself at that challenge. He was so far away, but he just went for it. And now we do see kickoff goal or bust for Garrett. He might get a one chance, but that's going to do it. Jacob ties up the series. GG's. And enjoy your dinner, Jacob. Both these guys are out. That's going to do it for this series. 2-2, Jacob and Garrett inseparable, although Jacob did have the momentum, you could say. He managed to take down Garrett 2 games in a row right there, looking a bit more solid, despite 14 shots for Garrett. My goodness, that last game was just a barrage of shots. Absolute barrage of shots. Am I still going to try casting Neat Mike versus John Sandman 1v1? Yeah, I would be down. I would be down for that. Let's see, who have I... What subs do I need to catch up on? Let me see. Yeah, Wilson Shire 2 months in a row, Halo 2 months, Lazy Shot, new sub, Chakamalakalaka subbing as well. Unbuckled Globe 4 months in a row. Zaz back for 2 months. You say this was your third, but Rip, nice meeting you, Line. Yeah, nice meeting you, Land, dude. And Pinoy, uh, the silent partner, Greasy with the sub. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Missing you, dude. And yeah, so happy for you guys winning the championship. Sato-chan 24, the White Knife, both summing for the first time. So is Vodoings. Welcome to the channel, guys. And the Guitar Leon, what's up? 5 months in a row. Yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into a little bit more of a normal streaming schedule. And Craig Wilson 1996 running off the new subs and the resubs 2 months in a row. Welcome back, my friend. I appreciate that. Let me just check the chat. Oh, and Captain Mocha and Joe Mitz as well. Just trailing off the back end. Welcome to the channel, guys. I appreciate you. How long have I been black? Wait, what? What happened? It's the lighting in my room is different now. How do you check when your sub resets? I don't know. But look what I found when I was like cleaning up my room today. I found my Rocket League stress ball. It was like underneath my desk. It was just completely squashed underneath one of the legs. Yeah, what do you guys think of that idea? Jazer and MK against F2. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be really funny. I reckon Jazer and MK would get some montage goals for sure. I'd love to watch it from everybody's perspective. Like, I'd love to hear Jazer and MK talking as they go in that series. And I'd also love to hear the F2 comms just getting so mad.